Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you. We're gonna wait a little bit and let the people come in. So give us a few minutes, and then we'll jump right in. Trying to pull this up real quick. Okay. So last time we went over the Bill of Rights, Article 1, which we know was uh, respecting the establishment. Congress should make no law respecting the establishment of religion. And we went through how it was lawfully chartered for the temple to operate in its capacity under the First Amendment. And we also talked about Philip Turner. And I think we stopped on Article or Amendment 6. Okay. And I did find that movie it is called Double Jeopardy. For those I couldn't last time remember what it was called in the Fifth Amendment when it says double jeopardy. So yeah, go check that movie out too. And then I think we had a video. I think we had a video on it on explaining, kind of giving like a real life example of the due process that we didn't get to also. So I'm gonna play that video real quick. And this is from the battle side. The same guy, Philip Turner, people send in videos on their encounters and how they enforce the law. And I pulled that from one of his websites. So um, let's check it out real quick.
What? They're coming up with their story now.
How are we suspicious by walking out?
Yeah, yes. Total harassment.
For real.
Yes,
I mean, the man was sitting on his porch.
Yes.
He's not harassing anybody.
My neck, hey, listen. This is why I make these videos right here. It is your right to be able to film public workers to make sure that they're doing their job correctly. This officer, the one with the police suit on, you hear me? See the car? He passed by this house and said, me and my fiance look suspicious. He said he didn't think nobody lived in his house. The freshly mowed grass, you hear me? Vehicle in the yard. He said, but because we was black, you hear me? Yes, they have won him over. The Hispanic, the Mexican guy right there. Yes, he just came into my yard. He violated my rights, trespassing. Yes.
This is crazy. He looks suspicious. I guess he's gonna go next door to the neighbor too because he was sitting on the porch. Does he look suspicious?
Can yes. This total harassment right here, guys.
It really is.
This total harassment right now. See, I'm beginning to feel afraid for my life now.
So look,
you hear me?
He had to pass by. Remember I said, look,
yeah,
he passed by and then
he seen us walking and turned around right there, turned around and came back. This total harassment, guys. I'm believing in my heart that they out to get me. You hear me?
They really are.
And now I'm thinking, should I just sit back and wait on them to come and get me? Or should I start defending myself from the pirates right here?
Defend
you hear me?
And file the right
paperwork
because
get back in the yard. Yeah. Yes. Yes, total harassment right here. You hear me? And then I don't know what they talking about over there. You know what I'm saying? Total harassment, man. That officer right there, the Hispanic one, told me I look suspicious. Being a black guy in my yard, he told me I look suspicious. You hear me? Yes. Got him caught up in his words. He said it himself. He said it himself. Yes, I need to know who you are. I need to know who you is. I'm filing a complaint on you. Shoemaker, what's going on, brother? Shoemaker, what's going on, brother?
Take that in a second.
Now, do you have a search warrant to be on my property?
Okay. I do not, okay?
Okay, so...
But, listen to me, all right?
I do not should have been a done deal right there. You ain't got no search warrant. It should have been over. But these are the type of things these are the type of games that's being played. So we must know the law in order to defeat these things. Okay? We continue on.
If you can just provide this information for me, your IDs, if you live here.
I'm not providing you nothing, man. Matter of fact, get off my property right now if you don't have a search warrant.
Sir, I'm
asking you nice.
And I was asking you nicely as well.
Hey, sir, all I'm saying, if you don't have a search warrant, paperwork to be on my property, what crime do you suspect
Okay,
suspect me of committing?
The only crime that I have right now is y'all failure to identify.
Okay, 38.02.
So see, when you start to go into the Constitution, then they always want to put the state law on the table. But as we went through in that supremacy clause of the Constitution, the state has no standing. Okay, in Article 6, right? And we went through that and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby anything in the Constitution or laws of any state, right? That's the state's constitution. To the contrary to what? This Constitution notwithstanding. So what they like to do is bring up state law, which is different from federal law. Federal law is supreme, is the supreme law of the land. Okay. But that don't mean that you can't use state law, like he about to express in these codes that he about to hit them with the penal code. He about to hit them with.
Failure to identify. One must already be under arrest for a crime that he has committed. What crime have I committed?
Failure to identify.
No, that's not a crime. That only becomes a crime once one has already lawfully. Be quiet. Let me educate this one. You hear me? Let me educate him. 38.02. Failure to identify only becomes a crime when one has already been lawfully arrested for a crime. Let me give you an example, sir, since I don't know who you is.
What about detained?
Huh?
And what about detained?
What am I being detained for?
You were detained because you were suspicious activity.
No. What penal code? You got to name a penal code that I've committed. That is the crime. Name a crime that I committed.
So that's another trick they like to use. They'll try to say you're not arrested, but you're detained, which is you're still hindering me from going about my day. So that's a part of arrest. Let me go to the Black's Law Dictionary so we can look up detain, okay? And we're gonna see what that word actually means. Black's Law Dictionary. We're looking for detain, because that's another trick that they like to use, you know what I'm saying? And hindering your rights. Detain. Okay, where you at? Getting close. Okay, detain. To retain as the possession of a personality. Okay. And then they got the court cases. To arrest, to check, to delay, to hinder, to hold or keep in custody, to retard, to restrain from proceeding, to stay, to stop. Okay. So as we can see, it says to arrest. So detaining me will be a part of arresting me. You detaining me to do an investigation. Yes. Let's see what detainment basically is saying. Okay. Yeah. So let's continue on. And that's the same reason that Philip Turner, in his case, that's why he won that case also, because they said they detained him and they put him in the back of the car. Okay, well, you detaining me means that you're arresting me to investigate a situation. You must commit a crime before you, as we went through in the Bill of Rights. It's a due process. Process is due uh, to say I committed a crime. Okay, so uh, in order for you to arrest me, right, then you must present the crime that I did. So to say you're detaining me is to say that you're arresting me, in which you must prove the crime. Okay, let's continue on.
You hear me? Name a crime that I committed other than being black and walking down this driveway.
You were detained for suspicious behavior.
Walking out.
Hey, Shoemaker.
Required to-
Shoemaker, don't do that, brother. Don't do that. Hey, listen.
Why do you
Listen.
think he's here?
Because I'm black and he wanted to, you guys got it out for me and wanted to see what was going on. That's what I think.
Now this brother keeps saying black, right? Okay, but we use this for research purposes. We know who he is, you know what I'm saying? But the law applies to everybody. You can enforce the Constitution all the time, right? It's just when you get up in those higher courts and when status get on the table, right? Then that's a whole different thing. Okay.
I've done nothing wrong, Shoemaker. You know what I'm saying? Me and you never had no words or nothing. I see you pass by, nothing. But what you're doing right now is you're upholding something unlawful and illegal. If you don't know your job, do not continue to, because you're gonna be on the next video. And what I'm telling you is 38.02. Baby, come here. Can I Google and show you guys?
Go ahead and Google.
Okay, I'm finna show you guys, because you're dealing with the wrong one. That's why you guys mad at me, because you won't be able to handle me like you handle the other ones, because I'm on top of my game. I know you see the gold teeth and tattoos and immediately think I'm another plain, normal, regular black guy. No, player, wrong one. But let me educate you guys today. You hear me? Because that shit don't, y'all time of running things, it has came to a closure, bro. Let me show you. 38.02. Okay, Texas Penal Code 38.02. Let me read it to you so you can be educated. Do you want to purchase data? No, I do not now. Texas Penal Code, failure to identify. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refused to give his name, residence, address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person. I am not under arrest.
Correct.
You have to, for what?
Continue reading.
No, listen. Let me explain to you. I have the books in the house. I'll go and get you.
Continue reading.
Okay. Lawful arrest for a person who has requested that information. A person commit an offense if he intentionally give false or fictitious name or resident address, none of those which I am going to do. You hear me? If once you show me that you have a legitimate reason to believe that I have committed a crime or I'm in the act of committing a crime, you know, you got to name a penal code. What penal code do you suspect me of breaking in order for?
Reading.
No, for real though.
I
Just continue reading. If you're gonna read part of it, read the whole thing.
I read it.
Read the rest of it. There's more. There's more.
Sir, I'm explaining. And apparently you don't read because you don't even know about it. Why was I able to even recite 38.02 failure to identify if I hadn't done my homework on it? Let me explain to you. This lady go to HEB and she steals something. She get caught stealing. And then they call you guys there. And then you come.
Hold up. Let's look it up real quick, because I like to look stuff up. 38, what do you say, 0.02? Failure to ID. Yeah. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refuses to give his name, resident address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person and requested the information. Person commits an offense if he intentionally gives a false or fictitious name, residence, address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person, lawfully detained the person, or requested the information from a person that peace officer had good cause to believe is a witness to a criminal offense. Okay. And so we know detain means arrested. So what is you detaining me or arresting me for? Let's continue.
To the scene, you hear me? This person has already been in trouble for stealing, you hear me? And then y'all pull the meat out of their pockets and you grab the meat out of them. We know for sure that he is stealing. That's the penal code they have broke. Now you ask them for their ID and they don't give it to you then only then can they be charged with failure to identify. They must already be lawfully arrested for a crime that they committed. What crime have I committed for you be in my yard and to be fucking with me? You hear me?
Suspicious.
Okay, here.
Okay.
Suspicious. That's what they try to use to go around the law. Well, if you can just make suspicion your judgment, then I will always be suspicious. That would be no reason of law. Come on now.
Okay. Well, you know what? You know what? I said,
What's your name and date of birth?
I'm under arrest. Am I under arrest?
You're not under arrest.
Okay, well, am I free to leave?
You're detained right now.
Detained is anonymous arrest, sir.
Okay.
Detainment is anonymous arrest.
And what have you done to be
And I have the dictionary, the law dictionary, that I'm going to use in the courtroom to state my case once I have to go to court. Because other than that, if I'm being detained, that means I am not free to leave. If I'm not free to leave, that means I'm under arrest. If I'm under arrest, I like to exercise my Fifth Amendment, the right to remain.
Are you behind handcuffs though?
I'm not free to leave.
Oh, that boy said I exercise my Fifth Amendment. At that point, there's no need to talk. There's no need to talk.
Exactly. I just want to know.
I don't have to answer none of your questions. I don't answer questions. See, that's the difference between someone who know and someone who don't know. We can play this game all day, unless you want to just kidnap me right now. You hear me? Because that's going to be the charges filed. Because I've done nothing wrong.
nothing.
I haven't breached the peace. I'm not being disturbance. I'm on my own property, which you don't have permission to be here right now, and it's posted. You hear me? And it's all being recorded. You hear me?
What's your name and date of birth?
I do not consent. I like to exercise my Fifth Amendment right.
All right.
You hear me? I just want to exercise my right. And then one can't go to jail for exercising right. You hear me? I just want to exercise my right.
Shoemaker walked off. He like, dang.
Freedom of speech. I mean, right to remain silent. Yeah, right to remain silent. Yeah, having your business, man. This officer told me I look suspicious, man. I look suspicious. Walking in my own, I'm just walking down the back. I'm walking down the driveway right here down to the backyard, right? When the officer right here was passing by. This officer right here was passing by. And when he seen me, he turned around and came back. And I looked up, he already in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? I got signs. He immediately stated that he seen the no trespassing sign.
That's correct.
He's agreeing with me. He seen the no trespassing sign and took it upon his business because he seen a black guy, I guess it's such a nice looking house, that we weren't supposed to be there. You hear me? You hear me? So this Hispanic guy right here acting as the police officer, you hear me? But right now he's a pirate. You know what I'm saying? He's trespassing. He's looking to try to take something from me. You hear me? I violated no law. I haven't breached the peace. I've done nothing wrong. And he's here asking me for my information.
Yeah, that's all I need.
And I don't have to give that to you if I've done nothing wrong, sir.
For a suspicion that?
Suspicious of what?
Of being at this property. I saw the no trespassing sign, and I saw 2 people walking back here. That was it.
That don't give you no right, brother. That don't give you no.
Does give me the right.
No, it does not. No, it does not. And you're gonna be excused. You're gonna be schooled. You're gonna be taught better. You hear me? Because this is proof right here, Marlon, of what we're dealing with. This is proof what we're dealing with. We got peoples in charge of us who don't even know the laws themselves. But I'll quote them for them. You hear me? I'll quote them for them and let them read them. You hear me? Yes, look at them. Look at them. Straight tyranny. No, I'm not giving no false name. I'm not giving a false name. Yes, Lord. See, shoemaker smart. You hear me? They got enough sense. Look, look, look. They parked their car over here in front of the other people's house. They got it parked in front of other people's house. You hear me? But they over here bothering me though. You hear me? They over here bothering me. Yes. They gonna get tired of these videos getting dropped. They gonna get tired. I'm finna make them all famous. I'm gonna make them all famous. You hear me? Yes, sir. Uh-huh. The guy, what you see his leg on the truck, he got a history for duct taping people up in the vehicles and stuff. Yeah. He like to shoot people with the tasers and stuff. You hear me? Yeah. Uh-huh. Now look at them. They're over there conspiring. You hear me? They're over there plotting and conspiring, guys. Yeah. But see, once you arm yourself with the truth, once you learn your rights, you hear me? That's what they gotta do. You make them go over there and huddle up. You hear me? Yeah. They wanna know how this black guy with the gold teeth knows so much. Yeah. When you get tired of being mistreated and misused by the unjust system that they got in place by these new Klansmen, you hear me? And then they hire black and Hispanics and others who think that they're doing something in life. You hear me? Yeah. The one right there, he a constable. You hear me? Yeah, he a constable. He not even a police officer. He a constable. You hear me? But all of this corrupt that's going on in Marlin is about to come to a ceasefire. You hear me? Yeah. Suspicious activity. This officer was passing by the... No, I'm not finna show you the house. I'm not finna show you the house. But he was passing by the house and he seen two black people walking down the driveway. And this is a Hispanic brother. Well, he's not my brother. Yeah, it's a spick. You hear me? Yeah, because he ain't one of us, y'all. He ain't one of us. You hear me? And he know he got a relative that sell more weed than a motherfucker. Know he got some kinfolk that push plenty dope. He a Mexican. They bringing it straight across the border. Yeah. Did you have a search warrant to come on my land, my property?
All right. Sir, what's your name again?
Am I free?
You see the type of psychology games they play. You come over there and say, what's your name again? They take psychology.
Or am I being detained?
Well, I just want to know your name.
Am I being detained or am I free to go?
You're free to go.
Well, I don't answer questions.
Okay.
You have a nice day. Yeah. And you see how you see? But I thought he was coming over here because I was suspicious though. You hear me? I thought it was suspicious. Now look at him. Now I don't want to give him a name. He just gonna leave. I thought I was doing something wrong. If I was doing something wrong, why are you leaving away so quick? Huh? Yes.
Nice day, sir.
Why am I leaving away so quick? What's your name again, sir?
I'm Officer Ortiz.
Officer Ortiz?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is what we're dealing with, Marlon. You hear me? We got people like him who don't even know the law themselves. You hear me? But they ready to pull you over for something and they don't even know what they sell. That's why you graduate from police academy in 6 months. But it takes 2 years to get your cosmetology license. I think you guys need to be in school for 2 years because you don't know your rights. You don't know your laws. But I'm gonna teach you guys. Shoemaker, you made the video.
Yeah. I mean, oh, did you have a question? Oh, Marlon. Kiki put in the chat, where is this at? In Marlin, Texas, I believe. But yeah, that was just a little example of, you know, how to enforce rights as far as due process. Okay. So let's jump into the rest of the amendments in the Constitution. I mean, in the Bill of Rights. Okay. I'm gonna finish up. Article 6 of the Bill of Rights, the Sixth Amendment to the Constitution, says, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury. So we know jury is made of 12. When you go into the smaller courts, is 6. By impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law. and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. Okay, to be confronted with the witness against himself. So, like we were saying up here, you can't be a witness against yourself because you got the right to be confronted with a witness against himself. You can't confront yourself. Okay, to have compulsory process for obtaining witness in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. And that's just like your attorneys and um, advocates and people who help you navigate through the law. Okay. Article 7, Seventh Amendment to the Constitution. And this is dealing with your like civil suits, your civil cases, like Judge Judy, People's Court, all of that, suits at common law. So in suits at common law, where the value and controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of common law. Okay, so if you sue in one court, you can't come back and sue in another when it comes to like civil cases. That's why they'll tell you sometimes if you say something happened that's over 100, over 10,000, you might want to take it to a personal injury court because you only can get a maximum. I think it's from $20 to 10,000 in the civil court, and so once once a decision is made in the civil court for that 10,000 maximum, you can't come back in a personal injury court and get more money. Okay. Amendment 8. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. Okay, so excessive bail, sometimes they might mark your bail up a whole bunch from someone else that got caught with the same charge. And so another thing that us as a people can have on file, or somebody checking the public records to make sure that people bail is not it's not over what somebody else bail would be. Okay, nor excessive fines imposed. And so when you look at the municipal charter, like say the city of Grand Prairie charter, in their fines, in their charter is going to tell you the maximum fines. And so sometimes they will give you like the maximum fine. They'll give you over the maximum fine. But if you don't catch them on it, then you'll sign that paper and waive your rights, right? And then you got to pay that fine. So it'll be a good thing to read through their charter also, and that way you can price the fines if you do have to pay a fine. Okay, just another little trick they try to use. Nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. Okay, so I think they said in some states that the death penalty would be cruel and unusual punishments, and that's why they deemed it unconstitutional in some states. And so some people, some states don't even have the death penalty. Okay. Amendment 9, unenumerated rights. Okay, so the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. So the enumeration in the Constitution, the enumeration is all these articles and clauses in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. So if it don't say in the Constitution that we got the right to breathe, or we got the right to eat what we want, or we got the right to uh, do what we want, like as far as personal, wear the clothes that we want to, right? And so just because it's not numbered, enumerated in this Constitution, it doesn't mean that we can't retain them. So I can breathe how I want to. I can eat what I want to. I can wear what I want to, because that's retained under the Ninth Amendment. Okay, so that just further lets you know how the Constitution is really for the people. Once we understand it and know how to enforce it, okay, and retain those rights for the people. Okay? And Article 10 or the 10th Amendment says the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectfully or the people. Okay, so the powers that's not delegated to the United States, okay, that's the federal law, nor prohibited by it to the states, okay, are reserved to the states and the people. Okay, so uh, that's the Bill of Rights. That's the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. And yeah, that'll pretty much wrap that up. We may start over on the Constitution, so we'll know how government is set up and government is ran at a later date, because that's good to know. Because once we, as a people, can understand how it go, then we can start putting the people in there that's gonna really make a difference, right? Because the system is only set up on how the people set it up. Okay, so just to give you a quick overview of what I'm talking about, you can clearly see uh, let me see how it's set up, right? We the people. This is a chart, organizational chart of of the state and how it's set up. Okay, so we the people elect at the state legislator level, uh, Senate, and people in the House to represent us. Okay, and those people go to the federal Congress or the federal legislator to put in votes on the behalf of the state. Okay, and its people, we the people. Okay, so if we elect these people to go put in that law for us, right? The ones, like we said, that's um not retained by the people, you know, ones that's not retained by the people in Article 9, um, we put the people in we put some people in law to go and vote for us on the other situations, not the private. You got private law, and you got state law, and you got federal law. Private law is known as common law, right? And so those laws are retained by the people. Okay, so like common law, for example, um, not to get too far, but let me show you common law. So like common law is like uh the ones like common sense basically. And let me just go to it. Common law. Like they'll say, you common law marriage, which is enforceable at the state level. Oh man, it's slow computer. Common law. Let's get to it. Okay. So common law. Okay, as distinguished from the Roman law, the modern civil law, the canon law, and other systems, the common law is that body of law and juris theory which were originated, developed, and formulated and is, okay, and has obtained among most of the states and the peoples. Okay, so it just is, it's common. Um, Common law uh basically is what makes sense, basically. As distinguished from law created by enactment of legislators, the common law comprises the body of those principles and rules of action relating to the government and security of the persons and property which derive their authority solely from usages and customs of immoral aliquity, or from the judgments and decrees of the courts recognizing, affirming, and enforcing such usages and customs. And in this sense, particularly the ancient unwritten law. Okay, so it's unwritten. It's the law that's um, basically you know what to do. Okay, we don't get too far into it, but yeah, we're gonna come back and we're gonna go through Constitution at a later date. I just wanted to finish up those Bill of Rights and let me see. Okay, yeah. And so at a city level or a local level, I also want to show y'all that too. At the city level, we're gonna see how these cities are set up. Now, this is the organizational chart of Grand Prairie, but most cities are set up the same way. Let's see, is this it? Hold up. Okay, so I'm gonna tie it all in. Just bear with me. Okay, so as you can see in your city, You will have a city council, right? And at the top of the city council, first and foremost, you will have the citizens of Grand Prairie, Texas, aka the people. Is always at the top of every local government, okay? And then you'll go down to city council. City council is where you will get things done, okay? Where the mayor at and things of those nature, okay? So city council actually in the one city, I want to say in Minneapolis, um let me see if I can find it. They actually put uh defunded the police or um fired the police basically. And city council is how they got it done. Okay. Right here. I want to say, is this Camden? Okay. They dissolved the police department. This city disbanded its police department 7 years ago. Here's what happened next. Okay. And let me see, Camden. Oh no, that Camden, New Jersey, also did it too. But this is Minneapolis. Okay. And I'm not gonna get too far into it. I'm just gonna go hit my point, but you can go back and read this article. Um, should have it highlighted. Okay, so in 2012, officials voted to completely disband the department. It was beyond reform. Okay, and also in 2013, the Camden County Police Department officially began its tenure. No other city of Camden size has done anything quite like that. Okay, and so once they disband them, right, violent crimes has dropped 42% in 7 years, according to the city crime data provided by the department. Crime rate has dropped from 79 per thousand to 44 per thousand, the data shows. Okay. So, I mean, can I say that we don't need police? No, because you still need some type of uh, governing body for the when people commit crimes, and we know that people don't commit crimes. So but if we wanted to uh do some of these things that we was talking about as far as defunding and things of that nature, the city council will be where you started. Okay, so go read up on that. um Make sure I hit my points on the point. So that city council, that chart. um okay, back to the chart real quick. And so under city council, as I just explained, um, you got the police over here. So you got uh, a deputy city manager. He's over the airport, environmental services, housing and neighborhood services, and the police. So if you having issues with the police, you would go up the chart. In the first in the police department, you got the chief and all of those, and then his boss over them, the deputy city manager. Okay, and then you got the courts over here too. They in their own department, kind of like the government, set up in executive, judicial, and legislative. Okay, so as you can see, the citizens of Grand Prairie is on the top. The people was on top. So if we want to get anything done locally, we can go down to City Hall and start getting active locally first. Get things changed locally, and then we can move our way up. But first, we gotta learn the law. Okay. And as we can see, like Buddy just presented in several of my situations that I got in, you can see that these things help in our situation. Okay. Because if you go back to our ancestors was the first ones to create government. Okay. Uh, our ancestors in Egypt, right, was the first to civilize people. They had the same structure like governors and city council and things of that nature back in Egypt thousands of years ago. All of these principles um, came straight from our ancestors. Okay, let me make sure I hit all my points. Then we're gonna close out. I just wanted to get through that. Just wanted to get through the rest of that Bill of Rights, and so those are the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, further securing your rights or liberties, right? Your freedom as a person, right? So when the government get out of line, you can that's how you keep them in check. Okay. So let me see, let's close out with the divine constitution. Okay, Act 1. First of all, at the top of the page, salvation, the star and the moon, Allah, all seeing eye, and unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. All meetings all meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government. Because by being a Moorish American, you are part and parcel of the government and must live life accordingly. This Act 5, this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government and know that they are not Negro, color folk, black people, or Ethiopian because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Acts 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of uplifting of humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet Noble Drew Ali through the guidance of his father God Allah. Noble Drew Ali, the founder, and we're gonna say the Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Okay. So I would like to say too, our highest honors first off to Allah, Alhamdulillah, which means all praise due to Allah. I would like to give my honors to Noble Drew Ali, and of course my honors to Marcus Garvey, his forerunner. Okay, and so with that, I come to you in peace, and I leave in love.